Hello again, it's Renee, and I'm going to continue the tutorial from the previous video on using Zotero. So this tutorial will pick up with using the browser extension for Zotero so that you can export citations directly to your Zotero account without needing to use the library's databases. So plugins are sometimes called add-ons or widgets, or in this case we're using Chrome, so it's called an extension. These are added to your browser and may appear up in the top right corner. So at the very top you'll see that I have a couple of different widgets that are currently active. The one that I'm looking for is the Save to Zotero. So I already have the extension added to my Chrome, and I can click on this button to save the same document to my Zotero account, and you'll see that it's going to automatically go to the folder that I have active in Zotero, and it's going to pull over as much information as it can. When you are using the extension for databases, this feature can often make errors because of the protections in place for a database. So I recommend using the export function when you are in a library database. My favorite feature of the Zotero extension is being able to use it outside of the library databases. So for example, if you are using a site like Google Scholar to find more articles that are outside of the library's databases, you might put in your search terms and find additional sources. And when you find an article that has a PDF available and isn't blocked by a paywall, you might click on it. So for example, we have selfies as expressively authentic identity performance. When I click on the PDF, it's going to open, and as we come up to the top, the browser extension has already recognized that I am looking at a PDF, and I can click on this and it's going to open the folder. So it's telling me which folder I am saving it to. I could change this if I wanted by clicking on the down arrow. I could also put in new tags so I can find my other articles. So if we do social media identity, we might also do identity performance, and then click done. And when we go and open our Zotero account, now we have the second article that has pulled over. And sometimes this happens because we are using an open source program that is free. There are a little extra layers that we sometimes need to put in. So when you're using it from the open web, you might need to do another couple of steps. I'm going to take a right click on this and I'm going to create a parent item. Now, as you can see, it has created a parent item for us. All we needed to do was put in the DOI number, which we accessed from the original publication page. And all of the information that we need generally has come over. Double check. Sometimes there is missing information, like the volume or the issue or the page numbers in this case are missing. So when we go to use this to create a bibliography later on, we might need to include that information. Sometimes when articles are born digital, they don't always have this type of information, so just double check if you are missing key pieces of information for your citation later on. Now I've been slowing this down so you can see how this all works, but this is generally a very fast process when I am doing my research. I find articles, I export them to my Zotero account, and it's all easy peasy lemon squeezy. Love it. But let's say you are at the end of your research project and you're ready to create a full bibliography. Zotero will help you do that. So instead of using the example that I've been working on, I'm just going to open one of my other folders where I have a ton of articles saved. If I come over to this folder at the very top, you can see I've got a bunch of different sources in here, all of which I've saved from multiple locations. You'll also notice that there are little icons next to each of these citations that indicate the type of source that I am citing. Now, let's say I decide that I'm going to use just a few of these sources, not all of them. Maybe not all of them were correct for the paper that I am writing based off of the research that I did. I've selected them with the Control button held down and just multi-selecting. All I have to do is right-click and create a bibliography from items. I use APA 7th most of the time, but Zotero has a number of different styles already built in for you. So if you are using MLA, you can find the most up-to-date MLA edition. That's the 8th edition is in here. You might also find yourself using various versions of Chicago, which are also all built into Zotero. So once you have decided on which citation style you're going to use, you just want to make sure that it is selected in blue. You're also going to choose your output mode. So you can create a in-text citation or a bibliography. The citation is the in-text parenthetical citation in the case of APA. We're creating the full reference list though, so we want to make sure we're using bibliography as the output mode. And then we're going to keep it as copy to clipboard. However, you could have it save as various files or you could make it automatically print. So copying to clipboard, clicking OK, and now I'm just going to open a new fresh file in Word. Once I've opened my file, I can paste in my full list of citations. At this point, it's really important that you do a little bit of editing. Every citation generator has its own issues. Again, we're talking about computers and software. There are chances for user input error that are repeated within the citation itself. Just pay attention to the citation conventions and rules for the citation style that you are using. Make sure as you are using Zotero, as you're using any citation manager, that the information that the software uses to create your citation is complete. If at any point you have questions about how to use Zotero, how to do your citations correctly, if you just want a librarian to look over the citations that you have created using a citation generator, just reach out to us and we are more than happy to help you out with the citations. They shouldn't be the thing that stresses you out the most about doing your research projects.